السلام عليكم. لا تنسوا الاعجاب بالفيديو والاشتراك في القناة تشجيعا لنا لنستمر بنشر المزيد إن شاء الله.
And breaking sports news tonight, the NBA's Brooklyn Nets banning all-star Kyrie Irving from any team activities until he is, quote, eligible to be a full-time participant. Irving, who is not vaccinated, is not permitted to play in the team's home games in New York City. Nets general manager Sean Marks says, quote, Kyrie has made a personal choice and we respect his individual right to choose. Currently, the choice restricts his ability to be a full-time member of the team, and we will not permit any member of our team to participate with part-time availability. Let's discuss the state of mandate resistance with vaccine and civil rights attorney Aaron Siri. Aaron, welcome.
Thank you, Shannon. Good evening.
Your reaction to the situation with Kyrie Irving, a number of other NBA players have spoken out, and there have been different ways that their cases have been handled, but his means he's not going to play.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's going to end up becoming a legal dispute, and in legal disputes, objective facts are critical. And when you look at the objective facts here, what are they when it comes to the product that they're requiring him to receive? The COVID vaccine, as confirmed by the CDC, does not stop infection and transmission. It reduces symptoms, but it doesn't stop transmission. Also, the CDC's primary study on this topic out of Massachusetts found that the vaccinated and unvaccinated had a similar amount of infection and viral load. So when viewing those objective facts, what does that mean? It means that the vaccinated players are still becoming infected, but they're on the court and they're having less symptoms. They're silently spreading it while they're playing basketball. On the other hand, the unvaccinated players, they're having symptoms, right? They're more likely to. Where are they? They're at home with a thermometer in bed, more likely, watching basketball on TV and not spreading it on the court.
Yeah, and I know a number of these players have spoken up because they've had COVID and they want to argue the issue of natural immunity, their antibodies, and that's a different conversation altogether. I have so many things I want to get to you with, so I'm going to try to do a bit of a lightning round. A little bit of breaking news here. OSHA has now finally, this regulatory agency has now started the process of this federal mandate, because a lot of people will remember the president made an announcement a few weeks ago, but there isn't actually a rule yet telling employers what they have to do. So tonight, OSHA is saying they've been working on an emergency temporary standard. And as part of the process, they're now putting together that initial text, and it's been submitted. So what does this mean?
Well, like you said, President Biden issued an executive order that relating to employers with over 100 employees either having to require the vaccine or test, but that only comes into effect after OSHA issues regulation implementing it. 24 attorney generals, so almost a majority of the states in this country, penned a letter and sent it to Biden saying that any regulation, this regulation that he's asked OSHA to promulgate, is illegal for a number of reasons that we could go into if you wanted to, but I know you want to do a lightning round.
Yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of legal action on that. I wanted to get your response to something that was included in the reporting before you came on, that Jen Psaki was saying over at the White House that I know there was hubbub over the course of the last few days about Southwest Airlines, but we now know some of those claims are absolutely false. It was completely unrelated to vaccine mandates. Have you heard otherwise?
We did have communication with somebody within Southwest who advised us that you know, I could say that what I've been advised is that over 2,000 of the flights were coded, that were canceled, were coded as quote unquote crew, which I was told means they were grounded because of a lack of crew for those flights. You know, one thing to note, I think this is really important. Airline pilots and airline personnel can't just walk off the job. That would actually violate a whole host of rules, potentially even certain criminal rules. And so if pilots and members of Southwest crew did decide to call in sick or not appear, they wouldn't be coming on your show to say that's what they did. They can get in big trouble.
Yeah.
It does appear that when you look at the situation, what is most likely the cause, you know, unlike many other airlines, a big proportion of Southwest pilots are former military. They know the price of freedom. They know what it costs to secure individual and civil rights. And maybe they're sending a message to other employees around the country. If you want to secure civil and individual rights, you need to act yourselves, because if you don't do it, who will?
Yeah, it's very tricky as employers desperately try to staff up all kinds of businesses, and in places like hospitals and airlines, these people are critical. Now, I wanted to make sure I ask you about this case of Dr. Patricia Lee. I know that you've gotten involved here. She is a fully vaxxed, ICU, very well-respected doctor. She says she doesn't want to discourage people from getting the vaccine, but she says she's been seeing an inordinate amount of people that she claims have been injured or suffering side effects from the vaccine. I want to read a little bit of her letter to the FDA. She says, I've been a doctor for more than 20 years. I've never witnessed so many vaccine-related injuries until this year. As a fully vaccinated physician, I feel pained in admitting this, but I am compelled by conscience to state the facts as I observe them on the front lines. I know she did this at risk to her own career. Has she gotten any response from the FDA about investigating her claims?
Well, she sent that letter that you just read from the FDA, with fear and trepidation. It took an amazing amount of courage to do it, and the FDA ignored her. 1, 2, 3, 8 days went by, and then she approached us, and we sent a follow-up letter to the FDA, saying, really, are you going to ignore this, seriously credentialed doctor who used to work at Harvard and Georgetown affiliated hospitals, reporting a whole litany of serious injuries from the COVID-19 vaccine. And he did finally respond, but she got a canned response touting how well the VAERS system works and not addressing any of the specific issues that she raised in her letter, and offering to have a follow-up meeting to answer her questions. They should be having a meeting and to discuss these serious issues she's raised, and it doesn't look like they're taking it seriously, unfortunately.
Well, Aaron, please keep us updated on that case. We'd like to know more about what she's alleged and the FDA's response to that as well. Thank you for your time.